So, hey everyone, and welcome to this new video. I'm just about to kind of want to open up the screen a little bit, so let me just pull. So the screen should be a little bit bigger. So today we're doing a new video, and it's what if deku had a quirk. And so we start off with it's Deku's 4. He wakes up, he goes up to his mom and says, "Hey mom, can you go show, or blah blah blah, show the quirk? Can we go to the doctor and see my quirk?" And then Coach is like, okay, let's just go. And then they drive to the quirk doctor in the car. Dick was like kicking his legs back and forth. And they make it to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Kid, it seems your quirk is," I forgot the name of her quirk, so it's like, I'm gonna call it perfect telekinesis. You can basically take anything of any size and control and move it. So this quirk should be a very, very good quirk. So then they could just like, yay! And then Inko brings him to the park where Bakugo was. And Deku says, "Hey Kachan, I have a quirk." And then Deku just and then Kachan, "So Zuko, what is it?" And then Deku just says, "It's perfect telekinesis. It means I can pick up anything from any size." Well, basically, I don't know what that means. Maybe he's still like 4 by this time. And then we get the time skip. So now he's about 14 or 15. I'm pretty sure he's 15 inside of the anime. And they go to school, and nothing out of the ordinary happens. What's the ordinary is no bullying usually for Deku and all that. Actually, he gets more prayers than bullies. So he goes into the class, and the teacher walks into the room and says, "So I guess," and well, first he does the roll, because I'm pretty sure every school does that. If a school doesn't do that, does a school not do that? Like a roll? First he does a roll, and then he's like says, "So I guess we've got to fill out these forms for our new school." And then he folds them in the air and says, "Actually, we all know you'll want to be a hero, don't you?" And they're all like screaming yes. And like, okay, so I'm back. And he says, and the teacher says, "Okay, I guess we have 2 students going to UA this year." And then everyone just bursts into whispers saying like, "It's probably Izuku and Bakugo. They both have the best quirks out of all of us." So then the teacher just says, "So it is Bakugo and Izuku Midoriya. Katsuki, Bakugo, and Izuku Midoriya." And like everyone just says, "Of course they're going to UA. They're like the best people in our class." So then they just go home, and then they So they just... Oh, my voice is getting really tight. They go back home, and it's a little... And... He goes, like, he runs into a Sludgeville and he just picks it up and carries it and says, "Is there any heroes around who can take care of this one?" And then Norma just bounces out of it and then says, "I am here." Oh, well, it looks like you already took care of it. But Izuku's saying just, "So, can you, like, punch it? Because, I'm holding it in the air, but can you just punch it? Because I could just squeeze it, but that'll kill it." So, All Might just screams, "Detroit Smash!" And then, like, there's blood everywhere. And Deku just says, "Hey, All Might, do you want some help there?" And then All Might just says, "Yeah, okay." And then he just helps pick up the trash from All Might. And Deku says, "Hey, All Might, can I get your autograph?" All Might just like, "Yeah." And then signs his autograph into the book. And then he jumps off. Deku doesn't grab onto him like he did in the original anime because he actually has a quirk this time. And he doesn't need to ask that question. So then Deku just walks away and goes home. And then we do he's training. He goes outside and he finds this beach which is full of trash. So he like picks it all up and throws it away, not using his quirk, just because I think I would say Deku's stronger this time, because now he's basically more determined to become a hero, no doubt he'll become a hero. So he's always like already as strong as like 5% of, like 8% of 1-4, or maybe even 20 full cowling, and if he uses that on one arm, it gives him a bruise. Because the thing is about not using full cowling is that it puts so much pressure into one bone that it just snaps. But it just gives him one bad bruise. So he goes home and, like, just after that, after like half the beach is clear, after like the full day, he goes home and says, "Just got finished, so like," and he goes like, "Izuku, you're finally back." And then Deku's just like, "Yeah, I was training." And then Deku's just like, "Yeah, okay." So then Deku just eats his dinner, goes to sleep. I'm gonna take a time skip for. So then they go to the UA thing. He falls over, but he just picks himself up with his quirk. And then he keeps on walking, and then he gets inside, and I don't really want him to go to sleep, because I'm gonna say like psychic powers or telekinesis gives him more smartness, so he'll want to tune in. So then he just listens to the whole thing, and Ida just stands up saying, "Inside of this note, it says that there was 4 robots, and if this is a mistake on UA side, I will be severely disappointed, and because this is the #1 hero school." And then President Mike just says, "Wow, I was about to get onto that. If you didn't unlock to, it'll probably be finished by now. And then he just like he always does that little bow thing, and then says, "I am severely sorry." And then he just like so the 0 pointer, well, the fourth robot is a 0 pointer. It's best to stay away from it because if you destroy it, it'll give you no points. And then they go in and they start the thing, and Izuku just grabs its 2 robots and just crushes it together, crumbling the 2. And they were like both 3 pointers, so he got 6 points. And then he destroys like 10 1-pointers, giving him 16 points. And 20 2-pointers, giving him like, I don't know, 36 points. And then he destroys 10 more and like 5 3-pointers right now. So he got like, how many? I'm not counting all of this. So we got like 40, 58 or something. I'm not counting that. That's not maths. And then he just destroy. And then he hears some rumbling, and he looks over to see a giant robot. So he just like starts to run away, and then he just has a call for help, and then he turns back and sees a brunette girl sitting there. Well, not just under the box. And then he runs up and picks up the robot and just starts beating it onto the ground by like hitting it, throwing it into buildings, and just destroying it. And by the time he finished that, it was destroyed. And then he just picks up the rocks and picks up the rocket and like says, and then brings her to the mid bay. See, this ability is really overpowered, but I'm gonna make him not be able to use his quirk for like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how big the subject is. So he can't use his quirk for 10 minutes now that he picked up that thing. So 5 minutes is like half of that thing. Actually, I'm gonna say no, like just 10 minutes. That's his limit. That thing's size is his limit. So then he can't really use his quirk unless he goes over his limit, which is really hard to do. So instead of like making him be able, he can pick up basically any size, but then he won't be able to use his quirk for a long time. You know, he just, like, say he picks up a whole house. He can't use his quirk for like 8 minutes. House is 8 minutes. No, I'm gonna say just big robot. That big robot size is his 10-minute mark. So that means and nothing like gets him. I'm gonna say that's actually his 2-minute mark, because that's just like how I want him to be. I don't want him to be too OP. Like, I'm gonna say he doesn't use his quirk that much for no reason, because he's relying on too much of his quirk right now. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna have to end it. And Izuku gets like 100 and something points. So you know what is high, like he gets a long score. But bye everyone, and hope you have a good day or night. And goodbye.